BUSH asked for $50 billion more dollars for wars. Gates says $190 billion is needed for armored vehicles, refurbished gear. Washington. President BUSH and Congress are headed toward another showdown on war spending, this time sparring over nearly $190 billion the Pentagon said is needed to keep combat in Iraq afloat for another year. Senator Robert Byrd, chairman of the Appropriations Committee, vowed Wednesday not to rubber stamp the request and said it was time to put BUSH's policies in check. We cannot create a democracy at the point of a gun, said Byrd, whose speech during a Senate hearing on the spending request was interrupted several times by cheers of anti-war protesters. Sending more and more guns does not change that reality, Byrd said. If approved, Congress would have appropriated more than $760 billion for the two wars, having already approved a $450 billion for Iraq and $127 billion for Afghanistan at the minimum. Testifying before Byrd's panel, Defense Secretary Robert Gates acknowledged that America's difficult choices on the war will continue to be a source of friction within the Congress, between the Congress and the President, and in the wider public debate. Gates asked Congress to add $42 billion to the $147 billion already requested for the military. The money would pay for the wars, more war in Iraq and Afghanistan in the 2008 budget year. Gates said that extra money was necessary to buy more vehicles that can protect troops a little better against roadside bombs, refurbish equipment worn down by combat, and theoretically consolidate U.S. bases in Iraq. More specifically, the request includes another $11 billion for 7,000 mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles. This is in addition to the 8,000 MRAP vehicles already planned for fielding. Congress has not yet approved the money, but was on track to pass a stopgap spending bill that would keep the war afloat for several more weeks. This gives Democrats divided on whether to cut off money for the war a little more time to figure out their next steps. The State Department has requested $3.3 billion more for war-related operations in 2008, a figure expected to increase, although no details were available on Wednesday. Deputy State Secretary told the Senate panel that several unforeseen costs have emerged, including an increased need for aid from the Palestinian Authority. In a separate hearing Wednesday, Army Chief of Staff General George Casey told a House panel that he was not comfortable with the Army's level of readiness if a new threat emerged. I am not very comfortable that we could respond as rapidly as we would like to. It would take us time to reverse directions, Casey said. More war than ever before, which costs ever-increasing amounts of money. What about the kids? What kind of generation this be that would spend the money for the kids' inheritance? What will they be left with? It's the whole reason, or it's one of the reasons, yes, the Lord God Almighty is coming back